Young Schulz imports clothing and other goods from China that eventually end up at U.S. department stores. Before the pandemic, it took 3 weeks for her products to travel from China to her warehouse in Southern California. But now she says it takes an additional 45 days at least.
Yesterday, I just received an email. We have 5 containers supposed to sailing on January 22nd. However, they say, sorry, it will be February 1st.
Supply chain experts say the delays will continue to be unpredictable, in large part because Omicron and Delta strains of the coronavirus have been detected in many Chinese provinces, including port cities. That, combined with China's zero-COVID strategy of lockdowns and mass testing, are causing ripple effects in the global supply chain.
So before Omicron, and before the latest lockdowns and partial lockdowns in China, global supply chains were already stressed and have been stressed for a couple of years. But this latest round of events there in China and Chinese ports has just added to what is already a very difficult situation.
And if one Chinese port closes, driving to another port isn't so simple.
In China, especially a bigger city, they don't welcome another city's resident to arrive because they believe if from outside, the risk is too high, so they do a quarantine 14 days minimum.
Even when the container ships arrive in the U.S., there are more delays.
There's a container shortage, but we also have shortage of workers here in warehouses, in trucking.
There is also a financial cost to the delays. For example, a container that used to cost $3,000 to $4,000 to ship is now more than $20,000. The Port of Los Angeles hasn't seen an impact from China's latest COVID cases, but
we are expecting a slowdown in February from China and other Pacific Rim countries because of the Lunar New Year. Whether the Omicron kicks that even further, we'll just have to wait and see.
Analysts say dependence on China for manufacturing has exacerbated the supply chain problem.
Companies are realizing, hey, it's now 2 years later. If I had taken action 2 years ago and looked at alternate sources of supply, maybe I would have been in a better position.
DiCostanzo, CEO of Pedego electric bikes, did just that. At the time, he looked to diversify where his bikes were made because of the tariffs for frames made in China, never expecting a pandemic would hit.
The current crisis right now we've mitigated by having steady flow of shipments coming from Vietnam, China, and Taiwan. They seem to have shutdowns at different points in time.
We've rented all these extra containers.
DiCostanzo is also keeping 4 months of inventory instead of 2. Amid the uncertainty over what COVID-19 will bring next, experts agree that 2022 will continue to bring supply chain disruptions and higher costs for consumers. Elizabeth Lee, VOA News.